Hello again. You've heard me speak about the autonomic cars in my informative speech. Basically how Ford Motor Company and Google are planning to have these vehicles on the road for senior citizens and the disabled in a 5 to 7 year plan. I sat back and I looked at all the evidence that they had about these vehicles. And quite frankly, I'm a little fearful. Fearful because I have a wife who is disabled. And she feels that this idea would be marvelous for those who are disabled like her. But me, being the protective type that I am, a lot of questions have been raised. During my informative speech, I mentioned about the human factor. Now, for those of you who are movie watchers like myself and my wife, we watched a movie called Sully. It was basically about the Miracle on the Hudson, about the pilot who saved all those passengers within a 24-minute span along with the rescue teams from New York City. Now, the FAA actually tried to convince the pilot that he had enough time to fly to another airport, and there were several that were 7 miles away from his destination. But the one thing that they didn't count on, that he explained to them, when it was all said and done, was the human factor. They didn't take into account, after running all the tests that said he could make it, was that, 1, there were birds that hit the engine. 2, the pilot waited 35 seconds before he turned on the automatic pilot. Those two factors there concluded that he had no time to fly to another airport and that the decision that he made was sound. Ford Motor Company is planning to take that factor away from the normal vehicle, thinking that an autonomic vehicle, a vehicle that's ran on a computer brain, would actually do this. Let's think about it for a moment. That kind of car may know what to do in the case of possibly an accident, but then we also have to take into consideration if it would do it in time, number 1. And number 2, what would happen with that vehicle if it actually got into an accident? There would be no one around to actually assist those who were riding in the vehicle, whether they be disabled or not. Second, do we really want a computer brain to actually help us in this kind of aid? Do we really want artificial intelligence to dictate our every move? Third, let's take into consideration those who were driving in these kind of situations, namely those people who are employed in assisting transportation. There'd be so many people who will be out of work that it would be astounding. As a matter of fact, thinking about how many assistant companies there are in America alone, unemployment will probably take a very big leap. And finally, let's consider the fact that the cost of making these kind of vehicles on a mass production would be astronomical. Being that vehicles are being built by robots already, there are more people going out of work. The whole thing would just come crashing down. So can we really consider that these vehicles will be beneficial, not just for senior citizens or the disabled, but for anyone who wants one? Can we honestly say that those who want to ride an autonomic vehicle want to be so lazy that they don't want to sit behind the steering wheel again? Can we say that these vehicles will actually be better for our daily living? My answer is a sound no. I wholly hope that you will consider these factors and so many more in saying no to the autonomic car. I thank you.